urgently needed a surgery. However, the government opposed the application, calling him a flight risk and insisting the DSS has adequate medical facility. Justice Muhammad Umar adjourned the case to July 22 to hear full arguments.
Protest so that we will be truly heard, because we've used other means of communications by writing to our minister and other management staff so that they can come to our aid concerning a lot of things that we are facing as staff of the FCTA, but to no avail. Some are supposed to be writing common entrances to go even to the new secondary school. Are supposed to be writing common entrances to go even to the new secondary school, but they cannot. And we are just appealing that Mr. Minister should do something about it. We also are agitating concerning staff training. There's been no training and retraining since 2023. This is a peaceful protest for 3 days, after which we will know the next line of action.
The National Association of Nigerian Students has announced the mass protest scheduled for Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025, over the prolonged closure of public primary schools in the Federal Capital Territory. In a statement issued today, NANS President Olusola Oladoja described the situation as unacceptable and a deliberate act of negligence by the government. You recall, schools have been shut for over 2 months due to unresolved issues between the FCT administration and local government education authorities. NANS had earlier given the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike a 7-day ultimatum to reopen the schools, citing the impact on children from low-income families who have been denied access to basic education. Oladoja called on students across the FCT as well as neighboring states, including Kogi, Nasarawa, Niger, and Kaduna, to join the demonstration. He said the protest is not just about education, but a stand for justice and the future of Nigeria's children. The founding National Secretary of the Alliance for Democracy, Prof. Udenta, as today says talks about a running mate for President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 election is a humiliation of Vice President Kashim Shettima. In a televised interview today, Prof. Udenta is distinguished fellow of the Abuja School of Social and Political Thoughts. He said the fact that governors and other stakeholders in the All Progressives Congress endorsed Tinubu for a second term, but left out Shettima, showed that the party has a plan underway.
We should be talking more about the visible manifest humiliation of a sitting vice president. That may be the one that should be surprising to you and me. For the first time in our contemporary political history, we had the vice president who for 4 years was regarded highly, managed very well by his boss, Obasanjo, for 4 years. The situation became volatile and naturally degenerated into some irreparable dispute in the second term. You have Yaradua, who had a very good, solid relationship with his vice before he died, before Jonathan became the president. Here we see Banjo and Buhari, in spite of issues and tensions here and there, it was highly affected. So did he find a vice president 2 years into his tenure, was actually being told, you have no part of this, you have no part of this, because if his name wasn't mentioned in the endorsement of the president, and if the party and the presidency reaffirmed that the president of this country has no known running in 27, it's after the convention he will decide. It is not done. The tradition is a unified presidency. There's no separation between the two. So if you're taking one, you're taking him along.
He faulted the APC for saying Tinubu's running mate would be decided after the party's convention, saying it ought not to be so. A chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Bode George, has lamented the occupation of the party's secretariat in Abuja by policemen, preventing its National Executive Council, NEC, and a Board of Trustees meetings later for today. Speaking to newsmen after police prevented members of the PDP National Working Committee, including himself, from accessing the secretariat to host their meeting, George warns the federal government against plunging the country into crisis.
This is our property. Was there any court order to say we will not hold our meetings in our home office? What is going on? I was a young man in 1962 when it all started in Southwest. We must avoid that midnight, that madness. What is it? Can't we sit and talk? What is the essence of democracy? Nigerians are watching. You came to our office surrounded by police because you want to have a meeting. Where you want to turn us to North Korea or turn this country into Russia, we will not allow it. Nigerians will not.
It was gathered that earlier today armed policemen took over the Wadata Plaza, the headquarters of the PDP in Abuja, amid tension over the party's National Executive Committee and their meeting scheduled for today, where the police disallowed members of the party's BOT members from accessing the secretariat. However, a judge insisted that the scheduled meeting would go ahead, but did not disclose where it will hold.
Today? Bet. We hold the meeting. Look, location, our prophecy. The landlord was prevented from sitting down and discussing domestic problems, family problems. He locked it. That doesn't mean that there are no more other houses. This is the only building in Abuja.
He advised that they should allow sleeping dog to lie, saying they should rather face the economic, political, financial, infrastructure, and educational problems facing the country. In the meantime, the PDP later held their BOT meeting at the Yardra Civic Center in Abuja around 2 p.m. today. Meanwhile, following the resignation of former chairman Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, the acting national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Ali Bukar Dalori, has called on party leaders and members to remain united. Speaking today in Abuja during the National Working Committee's first meeting since Ganduje's departure, Dalori urged party members to avoid actions and words that could cause division. He said he would soon present a political roadmap to guide the party during the interim period, covering party discipline, reconciliation, communication, member mobilization, and stakeholder engagement. Dalori said he assumed the new role in line with the party's constitution and the directive of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In the meantime, the ruling All Progressives Congress APC has fixed July 24, 2025 for its National Executive Council meetings to nominate a new substantive national chairman for the party. After an emergency meeting at the party's National Secretariat today, the National Working Committee led by Deputy National Secretary Festus Funta, they said the meeting would afford the party the opportunity to nominate a new chairman for the party. He added that a notice for the NEC meeting has been forwarded to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). Rights activist Akobari Celestin says the job of Vice Admiral Ekete Ibas is over, with the truce reached by the hitherto wearing political actors in Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, his predecessor Yeson Wike, and the State Assembly members. Celestine, a member of the Governing Council of the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Projects, in a televised interview earlier today, warned that Ibas, the sole administrator in Rivers, should not touch one kobo of the over 1 trillion naira Rivers State Appropriation Bill approved by the Senate.
The two of them, the two actors, will never have any appointment on behalf of Rivers people, because they are the two that have led to this nonsense. That an outsider is becoming a governor in Rivers State. Who knows how much has been taken away from our state? I mean, it shouldn't be. In fact, I even asking that at the expiration of the tenure of the administrator, which I expect that he should be leaving by today, he should give us account of how much he spent of our money. Because I know that he did not invest in any project. He did not carry out any project. So if he has paid salaries, those are the things, or he fueled his car, these are the only things. And the recent budget that was approved, I will not want to hear that one kobo of that money was spent by the administrator. One kobo of it should not be spent by the administrator. The money belongs to all Rivers people. The money is not Sim's money, or Wike's money, or Tinubu's money.
Celestine also appealed to President Bola Tinubu to immediately lift the emergency rule imposed on the oil states and restore Governor Fubara. At the southwest region, Ogun State government, in partnership with the World Bank, have held a parliamentary dialogue on gender-based violence, gender mainstreaming, equality, and inclusions to further enlist a better understanding of all stakeholders against nation. Speaking at the event, the State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Adijat Adeleye, she mentioned that child abuse, violence, and discrimination against persons with disabilities are not only social issues, and also the economic pandemic that threatens national development.
The plea has just been taken and it was granted bail graciously by the Honorable Judge. As we speak, his bail conditions are being fulfilled, and we are optimistic that as we leave the premises, he will live with us. Ordinarily, it's a venerable offense, and we indicated to the court that we're ready to go on with the trial immediately. But the prosecution wanted a date, and probably to get their acts together. So we'll come back on the 18th to comment.
And child abuse is not just a social problem, it is an economic issue, a public health crisis, and a silent problem that threatens our development goals. When a child is molested, on woman is silent, a generation leaves its work. When the violence and other teachers, we have become part of that family. The things that we don't want to carry back. They hold on our side, and we not by the loopholes in our position to encourage even to throw over our family, who of course our rights that they get in health and
She also emphasized on the commitment of the state working hard to ensure that no child loses their innocence, no woman loses her dignity, and no family is broken by different behavior. Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdurazak has sued a politician and businessman Moshood Mustafa and his brother Bola Kale Mustafa over the alleged disturbance of public peace, forced declaration, and uploading of an online video that could incite the public against the governor. The two men were arraigned before Justice Mohammed Abdul Ghafarat, the State High Court today. However, they pleaded not guilty to the 5 counts leveled against them. In the video, the governor said could cause public incitement against him and the government. The defendant, Councillor Meka Itiaba, said the case looks unique as the second defendant is a member of the All Progressives Congress before a fallout with the governor, and the public are waiting to know how the case will end.
The plea has just been taken and it was granted bail graciously by the Honorable Judge. As we speak, his bail conditions are being fulfilled, and we are optimistic that as we leave the premises, he will live with us. Ordinarily, it's a venerable offense, and we indicated to the court that we're ready to go on with the trial immediately. But the prosecution wanted a date, and probably to get their acts together. So we'll come back on the 18th to commence the trial. They are written, you can pick up it, but the allegation is that there's a conspiracy between the first and second defendants. They uploaded and published a video which was said to be capable of inciting the populace of the state against the government. And we have studied the two tips and we have our own case to canvass. The bill is very simple, 5 million naira and a surety that is acceptable to the court.
You're listening to News Express on Adamimogo 107.7 FM, transmitted live from Ido-Ekiti. After the break, NURTW endorses bow for second term. Details of this and more when we return.
Hello, good people of Ekiti State and its environment. For your private, political, family, or club meetings, and so on, of not more than 50 to 100 participants, we introduce to you Adamimogo Event Hall. Yes! Right at Olojudo's Palace, Adamimogo 107.7 FM's compound, Ido-Ekiti. Ample parking space, good security, clean environment. You also have the opportunity to book for a media publicity of your event on our fast-growing social media platforms. All these for a talking. Simply visit us at Olojudo's Palace, Ido-Ekiti, or call the following numbers for more inquiries: 0803-526-5812 or 0916-340-0878 or 0806-511-4430. You can also call 0806-380-8891. Adamimogo Event Hall. We are waiting for your patronage.
Glad to know you're still there. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel via Adamimogo 107.7 FM. For happenings around your news inquiries, please call our newsroom on this number 0915-987-6265. And now to the rest of the news. Of the Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers and NURTW Ekiti State Chapter, Ambassador Joseph Falokbe has commended residents of the state for endorsing Governor Adebola Oyebanji's second term bid. The NURTW chairman, known as Oloforo, praised the governor's leadership and policies, which he said have improved the lives of Ekiti residents, particularly in the transportation sector. It described Governor Oyebanji as a visionary leader who has shown a commitment to the development of the state and its people. The NURT chairman urged Ekiti residents to continue supporting the governor's administration, saying his re-election would ensure the completion of ongoing projects and further boost the state's economy. He also praised the governor's engagement with stakeholders, including transport unions, to promote development and stability in the state, and promised to continue place a priority to the welfare. Director CEO First Minders Microfinance Bank Ido Ekiti, Mr. Olaoluwa Omegbile, has given a series of commendations to the President's Economic and Financial Initiative. Recall that President Tinubu had on Thursday, 26, 2025, signed for tax reform bill into law to redefine the Nigeria revenue collection structure set to take enforcement from January 2026. Reacting to the development, Mr. Omegbile, who features today on Adamimogo Current Affairs program, the follow-up, explained that the reform will enhance effective tax administration, increase revenue collection, and harmonize all Nigerian revenue service agencies which collect tax on behalf of the federal government.
This act has changed the nomenclature of FRS, Nigerian Federal Revenue Services. It used to be then, but now it is now Nigerian Revenue Services. Also, if you look at it, this act also brought in a lot of innovations to our tax administration. So essentially, it's for tax administration, collection. This is what they had to look into. This act is to enhance effective tax administration across all different levels of government, and also is to improve the business environment and to increase the revenue generation. And it's also to block all leakages, because if you have so many agencies collecting revenue on behalf of the federal government, there will be leakages.
He noted that the tax law will benefit individuals and households as low-income earners of up to 1 million have been exempted from the new framework. In his explanation, added that the reform also comes with zero value-added tax of VAT on food, healthcare, education, electricity generation, and transmission.
This act has done for individuals is that this act has removed VAT on virtually major social necessities of life. This act has removed VAT on food. This act has removed VAT on healthcare. This act has removed VAT on education, electricity, and transmission. There's also a VAT exemption on transportation, renewable energy, CNG, baby product and sanitary towels, and rent and fuel products. That is how it affects everybody. Because those products that are not imported, that are produced locally, we are supposed to pay VAT on it. But with the signing of this act into the law, this act has removed VAT from all this.
He also emphasized that small businesses stand the privilege of wholesome benefits, as the act has to reduce company income tax of small businesses from 30% to 25% as part of efforts to improve Nigeria's business environment. The Ondo State Governor, Honorable Loki Aiyedatiwa, has described the Akure Community Muslim Women Crèche and Orphanage Home as a laudable initiative which everybody in the Ondo State must be proud of. The governor stated this while speaking at the commissioning of the facility, also known as the Bright Futures Home, in Akure, the state capital. The governor, who was represented at the event by the former Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs and the Commissioner nominee, Alhaji Amidu Takuro, described the projects as a way of complementing the efforts of the government to improve on the welfare of the masses, adding that his administration would continue to support such initiatives in every way possible. Chief Imam of Khalil Fawayimi Mosque, Ondo State Government House, Alhaji Yunus Anola, while speaking with the hall, he said that the construction of the crèche and the orphanage home is part of the contribution of Islam to humanity, in line with the command of God Almighty. On business news, Shell to increase stake in Nigeria's deep water bunker field. Let's join Oluwabi Falodu for details.
Good evening and welcome to Business Updates. Shell Nigeria Exploration and Production Company, SNIPCO, has announced today that it signed a deal to acquire Total Energy's 12.5% stake in the OML 118 oil block located offshore Nigeria. The block includes the Bonga oil field, one of Nigeria's major deep water assets. The acquisition will raise Shell's interest in the OML 118 production sharing contract from 55% to 67.5%. SNIPCO is the current operator of the field, producing oil via the Bonga floating production storage and offloading vessel. Shell says the move aligns with its commitment to deep water investment following the final investment decision on the Bonga North field last year. The company expects the transaction to be finalized before the end of 2025, pending regulatory approvals. Still on business, the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission (NERC) as of December 2024 announced that only 46.57% of the over 13.5 million registered customers had been metered. Despite nearly 1.5 trillion naira spent on various electricity metering programs, Nigeria's metering gap remains a major issue. RIP Sector Recovery Program (DSREP) and the 700 billion Presidential Metering Initiative (PMI) are set to deliver over 3 million new meters by 2026. That's all on Business Update. I am Oluwabi Falodu.
Thank you, B. Falodu. On foreign scene, UN says a climate crisis threatening rights to life. Victoria Banwo has details.
To foreign updates, the UN Human Rights Chief has today warned that the climate crisis is threatening the rights of life as a heat wave roasted southern Europe. Foka talk it out as fossil fuel company, saying they are peddling falsehood to distract from the damage caused by climate change while they rack up profits. He said the current heat wave in Europe should turn minds towards climate adaptation measures. Talk said the transition away from fossil fuels has serious implications for women's rights, and if mishandled, the rich and powerful would benefit while the poor and vulnerable miss out. He said current evidence suggested leaders are not taking the right steps to protect people from climate, safeguard their future, and manage natural resources properly. Still on foreign, Iran says it won't resume diplomatic talks with the US unless Washington guarantees an end to military strikes. This follows recent US and Israel airstrikes on Iranian's nuclear strikes, including Fordo and Natanz. Iran's deputy foreign minister, Majid Ravanchi, insists Tehran won't halt uranium enrichment, calling US demands unfair. While Israel warns Iran is close to building a bomb, Iran maintained its nuclear program is peaceful. US President Trump claimed the strike demolished Iran's nuclear capabilities, but the US nuclear watchdog says Iran could resume enrichment in a few months. And that's all on foreign news this evening. I am Banwo Victoria.
Across Guide inaugurates a National Secretariat on Vince AGN Super R. Jemima Fata got us covered.
Good evening and welcome to Entertainment News. The Actors Guild of Nigeria has officially launched its national office in Abuja, marking a significant milestone for the Guild. The ceremony, held at the Gaduwa district, was attended by industry stakeholders, government officials and diplomats. Highlights of the event included the unveiling of the AGN Super AP for membership services and the prototype of the AGN Galleria, a proposed creative hub. This development aims to enhance the Guild's operational capacity and support the growth of Nollywood. The new national office is expected to streamline the Guild's operation, provide better services to its members, and promote the interest of Nigerian actors. With this new office, the Actors Guild of Nigeria is poised to take a more proactive role in shaping the future of the industry. Still on entertainment, actor and filmmaker Femi Adebayo has expressed gratitude for the distinguished guests who attended the premiere of his father Adebayo Salami's movie, Her Excellency. Notable attendees include Kwara Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak and former Lagos Governor Babatunde Fashola. Femi describes the event as grand, feeling honored by their presence and appreciative of the recognition given to his father's contribution to Nollywood history. And that's all on entertainment. My name is Jemima Fateh.
And on sports, Ronaldo reviews why rejected offers to play at Club World Cup. Daniel Ojo is standing by.
Good evening and welcome to Sport Update. Manchester United icon Cristiano Ronaldo has finally opened up on the reason behind his decision to stay at Al Nassr. According to reports, Ronaldo said he received offer to play in the FIFA Club World Cup but decided to stay with Al Nassr, citing the need for rest and preparation for the long season ahead, which includes the 2026 World Cup. The 40-year-old striker said he's prioritizing fitness for the upcoming FIFA World Cup and his club commitment, while also needing rest before the new season begins. Still on Sport Update, manager of Flamengo, Philip Luis, has named Vinicius Junior of Real Madrid as the best player in the world at the moment. Philip maintained Vinicius as being a key part of the Spanish capital city's club recent success without doubt. Vinicius was Flamengo former player before he joined Real Madrid from the Brazilian side in 2018. The winger has scored 22 goals and made 19 assists from 55 games last season. And that's all on Sport Updates. My name is Daniel Ojo.
To end News Express at 6, a recap of our top stories. Some staff of the Federal Capital Territory Administration are currently staging a protest in front of the FCT headquarters in Area 11 Abuja. Remember, we also told you that Ruling All Progressives Congress has fixed July 24, 2025 for its National Executive Council meeting to nominate a new substitute national chairman for the party. And we lastly informed you that the chairman of the Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW in the Ekiti State Chapter, Ambassador Joseph Alokwe, has commended residents of the state for endorsing Governor Adamimogo Oyebanji's second-term bid. And that's News Express from Adamimogo 107.7 FM Olojudo's Palace, Ekiti. On behalf of the production crew, my name is Kingsley Iniovosa. Good evening and thanks for listening.
This is an Adamimogo 107.7 FM. Ekiti, the voice of the light. Adamimogo. Otun. Yato.